So hi everybody, thank you for joining us today for our webinar on the latest version of MediaCentral. My name is Dalia Naor and I'm the Senior Manager of Market Solutions here at Avid. I'm joined today by Regis André, Senior Director of Product Management, and Craig Wilson, Product Evangelist for Video and Media. Just a quick look at the agenda. Regis will be providing an overview of MediaCentral 2023.7, followed by Craig, who will give us a live demonstration of the latest features. This will be followed by a short Q&A. So before I hand it off to Regis, I wanted to play a short clip which provides an excellent overview of the new MediaCentral features we will be presenting today.
Knowing you have great content is one thing, finding it is another. That's why Avid continues to advance the search capabilities within MediaCentral, and in the new version, there are a host of enhancements to get you creating even faster. Users coming from MediaCentral UX or Assist, or using the MediaCentral Production Management window in Media Composer, are going to love the addition of this search functionality. There's a new option to enable users to search in a specific folder in MediaCentral Production Management to find what they need even faster. Rather than searching the whole system, narrow your search down, get what you need, and get on with the job. This is not the only search improvement though, there's more, such as the Super Pill, enabling power users to search multiple terms in one simple action, or the new display, showing where your search results are in a timeline view. News producers can now do more work in the Rundown app, including adding and viewing back time and cum time calculations, as well as viewing show timing information when the program is on air. For story-centric workflows with MediaCentral Collaborate, the updated mobile app on iOS has a new light mode to improve accessibility, as well as new calendar display options to show you assignments on individual days or across a time span which you can specify. Security remains a critical component of any MediaCentral release, baked in by design, with more options around multi-factor authentication being added. Asset management users can trigger processes directly from the media viewer and can create strata segments from in and out marks. There's also new support for multiple cloud archive providers and also for cloud transcoding. This is the next long-term maintenance release of MediaCentral, part of a program which began with MediaCentral version 2022.3. Anyone upgrading from then can take advantage of more than 300 features and updates which have been introduced, including brand new apps such as MediaCentral Acquire and a host of other time-saving enhancements to make newsrooms and productions even more efficient.
Thank you, Virtual Craig, for that clip. I will now pass this on to Regis, who will provide an overview of some of the new features in this release.
Thank you, Dalia. And so let's take a look at some of the key features in the 23.7 version of MediaCentral. First one is one of the top #1 feature requests we received from a lot of our many customers is the ability to search in folders or within folders inside MediaCentral Cloud UX. This is now possible with the 23.7. You can search in any folder's location in any system types, and you can also save those folder locations as part of your favorites. Another great feature that we've been adding as well is the concept of super appeal. Let's say you want to search for someone name, like I want to search for everything that Craig created or modified. I can then create a super appeal with the name Craig in the appeal, but I'm saying I'm going to use that as condition, Craig, for all of those different metadata selections. I can save this as a super appeal that I can then reuse later on. So I don't have to go and select creators, name, description, and so on every time I want to search. I can just select that super appeal that contains all those metadata and just type Craig in it, and it will search across all those metadata at the same keyword. Another great improvement is a better display of custom metadata and metadata found in the search result, especially when you want to know where are those time-based metadata in the clip. Now we're presenting in a quick overview, we're presenting this timeline-based view where for each metadata that you found, whether it's a marker, whether it's a restriction or face detection or some special text information, you will see the location in the clip represented by those small timelines in the user interface. Makes it very easy to see where they are compared to one to another, and you can very easily jump to that selection to see the video at that time. Another big request for us has been to continue to improve the rundown application inside MediaCentral Cloud UX, so you can do more around your rundowns within the web client. So we've done a lot of work to enhance the capabilities around timing and displaying of clocks in MediaCentral Cloud UX. Now you can see the information of the rundown app with the timing information, the time to end of the show, the time to end of the current items, but you can also see color coding of the text in the time codes windows on how much over or under run you're running into the show. Another great improvement in the MediaCentral Collaborate app is to add the calendar view now on the mobile app. It's not just available in the web client of the MediaCentral Collaborate application, but also inside our iOS app. We're also introducing a new color scheme, light scheme, inside the MediaCentral Collaborate iOS apps to make it easier to use in different lighting scenarios. We're also getting a lot of requests to enhance our capabilities around formats and codec support. So we just added full end-to-end support for XVC Intra 100 in 1080p 50 or 5994 for SDR type footage, not HDR just yet. It is available in MediaCentral Cloud UX throughout the entire end-to-end workflow from ingest to playout and rendering. Something that we are really focusing a lot in MediaCentral and Avid in general is security. So one of the major requests we had was to enhance our single sign-on architecture so we can connect to more systems than just Okta. And we are definitely doing this right now. We enhance and modify our Okta implementation. So now we can be more open and support other providers than Okta. Okta is the first to be officially supported, but every release you'll see new providers being supported. So we're really now looking for customer feedback to see which single sign-on solution provider you want us to support next. Another big enhancement we've done is to our connectors for MediaCentral Asset Management. Our MediaCentral Asset Management can use transcoders, but also use different type of storage to move media and transcode media. Now we added support for AWS, Azure, and GCP connectors, so you can use those platforms for your transcode needs as well as your storage needs. And of course, we are continuously improving MediaCentral as a whole throughout the entire testing, the development, and the design of the product to make it a more secure solution. So when you look at the various cloud enhancements that we've done lately, the support for the AWS S3 connector, the GCP storage connector, and the Azure Archive connectors, all those connectors are available in the asset management platform in MediaCentral to enable you to move content to those different storage platforms. Same thing for the transcoding. You can now select to use an Elemental or a GCP or an Azure Media Service transcoder if you want to create proxies or create different type of transcoded files and store them in the cloud. Finally, as you know, we are using Microsoft Azure Video Indexer for a lot of the AI capabilities inside our MediaCentral platform, and Microsoft introduced a new ARM-based account management solution for those accounts, which is now supported by MediaCentral. So I'll end off now to Dalia. Thank you.
Thank you, Regis. Craig will now give us a live demo of some of the features we just discussed.
Okay, great. Thanks a lot, Dalia. So for the next little while, we're going to take a quick look at some of the new features in MediaCentral Cloud UX. Now, if you're not familiar with MediaCentral Cloud UX, it's a browser-based application. So it's running here on Google Chrome on my machine. And what you see along the top are a variety of different apps that you would use, depending on what your workflow is. You know, you might use a combination of them. You might only use one or two. You might use one on its own. It really depends what your workflow is. It's really flexible. So let's take a look at some of those great search features that Regis was talking about, and then we'll come back to look at MediaCentral Collaborate on mobile as well. But let's go to the search app. Okay, the search app obviously allows me to search against any or all of the different systems that we have within an Avid MediaCentral environment. That could be your newsroom system, you know, your iNews system. It could be your MediaCentral production management system. Some people might still call it Interplay, as it was in the past. So as Regis mentioned, what are some of the big features here? So there's three that we're going to look at. One is search in folder, one is the new super pill, and the other is the new display of search results that you can get. And these are all designed to help you search, find things faster, get your work done quicker, spend less time, having to trawl through and find material in the system, and really help you get to what you need much quicker and get on with the job. All right, so the first thing we're going to have a quick look at is search in folder. Now, if you're coming from perhaps an older system that perhaps had an application called Interplay Assist, or you're using the MediaCentral production management window, the interplay window inside Media Composer, you're probably quite familiar with the ability of going in and searching in a particular folder. So this just allows you to be more specific with your search, and rather than searching across the whole system. So this has been a big customer request. We're really delighted that we've now introduced that in here. So what you'll see in the search app is I have this button here for all systems. I'm just going to show you just a quick example. I'm going to search for the word Cypress and just run a search. Now this is running across everything. So you can see, I get lots and lots of different results that are coming from lots of different places in the MediaCentral system that I've got. And maybe this is what I want. I want to search across everywhere. So absolutely, you can continue to do that. But perhaps I want to be more specific. I want to just search inside a particular folder because I know that that's where the media is going to come in. So for example, perhaps I've got an ingest folder and I just want to look inside the ingest folder, and I want to search against something that's coming in there. That's one of the things that you can do. So what I can do here is just click on where it says all systems, and this actually shows me all of the folders I've got permission to see, in this case in my MediaCentral production management system, and I just want to search, for example, inside this folder that's called rights-free media that I've got. So I can now just select that, still search for the word Cypress, just run the search again. And this time what you see is I just get the result from that particular folder. So it's a great way of really narrowing this down to just search inside that one particular folder itself. Now, if I wanted to, I could, of course, create and save this as a favorite. You can see I've already done that here. But let me just show you another example here where I've set up here a search to a particular folder, but I've not actually added in what I want to search for. So when I just select that, it finds me everything that's in that particular folder. You could, of course, now go in, because you could have folders with thousands of items in them. You could, of course, now go in and be more specific, perhaps about what it is that you actually want to search for. So search in folder, real time saver, decide which folder you want to search in, put in your search term, and you could, of course, have multiple search terms that you're searching for as well. Just going to clear this out now because I want to now show you the super pill. So the super pill. You see, when I now open up the search terms here, I have this option to enable the super pill. So why is this important? Well, in the past, if I wanted to search against metadata and the name of a file, for example, or perhaps in markers and segments, I could do that. But I had to open up each of these different search terms individually, type in what I want to search against, and then run the search. And of course, I may be looking for the same word in each of these different areas. But now with the super pill enabled, I can choose any of these metadata fields that I want to search against. Okay, and I'm not just limited to this is the quick list here. If I click on more, it shows me any of the attributes on any of our systems. So I'm going to search in the name of a file. I also want to search, for example, in markers and segments. Maybe I want to look for some logs here as well. Maybe I want to search for the creator. And all this is doing is it's adding all of these search terms now into the super pill. So when I come in here and I search for the word volcano, and hit return, it's now searching all of these different clips to find those terms. Okay, so it's searching in the name, it's searching in markers and segments, it's searching in lots and lots of different things. So you can see here that it's obviously brought up a clip called Volcano Island because I was searching for volcano in the name, but it's also brought up this clip called Stromboli. You might think, well, why has it brought that up? Well, if you remember, one of the searches I was doing was searching in markers and segments. So I'm searching in the logs that have been added for this particular clip. And so in MediaCentral Cloud UX, you have the ability of viewing your search results here. And this is one of the things that Regis mentioned about the new display that we have here. So if I just click on this button here, it's now going to show me all of the attributes for this particular search. And this is what's new. So in here, I can now see where all of these markers that have been added, where they are relative in the timeline of this particular clip. And also I can see restrictions here. Now here I'm selecting to show all of the attributes, so everything that's been searched here, but I could just look for only hits. And when I do that, it then just shows me where the word volcano is, because remember, volcano is what I searched for. It's not available in the metadata, it's not in the name or anything like that. It's just here in the markers themselves. I can open this back up again. Now, if I wanted to go to this particular clip at this particular point, all I need to do is to double click on the clip. And that then loads the clip at this specific time code, 1004106, which as you can see here is the time code, and it takes me straight to it as well. Equally, if I wanted to go to the restriction, which is this part here that's marked in red with the text that's here, then it would take me directly to that as well. So those are some of the new search features: search in folder, the super pull, and the new display as well. Really great time-saving features, get you to where you need to be, much quicker. So let's take a look at the Rundown app now and look at some of the new functionality that's been added there as well. So one of the requests that we've had from customers is to enable more producer type functionality into the Rundown app to allow more people to do more work in a web browser like we have here, rather than doing that necessarily inside of the iNews client, which you might be familiar with. So there's a couple of things we've added in here. The first is the ability to view and to add timing information and to then see the calculations of that, both for back time, as you can see here. So back time is counting from the end of the show back to the top, and also for cumulative time, which can time from the start of the show to the end. So you can now see here in the back time column, I can see all of the times for when these items are due to start, because the text is in red here, indicating to me the show is a little bit over. And of course, all of these timing information will dynamically update as the show goes on. If new stories are added, if stories are removed, then that will update as well. The other thing that's also been added, if I go to the drop-down list that we have here, is in the last version of MediaCentral, we introduced the ability to renumber individual stories or all the stories. But we've now added the ability of viewing the show timing clocks, which I'm going to bring up. We're obviously not on air at the moment. But what this shows me is time of day, but it also then shows me counting the length of time counting down to the individual item I'm on at the moment, the time to the end of the show, and then how much over or under I am. So when a show is live and the timing is being done by the production assistant, for example, in the gallery, and they're using the iNews client to do that, I would get a live dynamic update here showing me that live timing information as well. So that's another feature that's been added here in MediaCentral Cloud UX in the Rundown app to enable the ability to see timing information while we're planning the show, and then also to see the show timing information when the show itself is actually on air. Okay, so next thing we're going to have a look at is the MediaCentral Collaborate app and the updates that have taken place there as well. Okay, so here on my phone, I have the MediaCentral Collaborate app, and I'm going to bring it up. And the first thing that you'll see is that I'm showing the new light mode. So, there used to be a dark mode, there's now a light mode as well. And we're looking at the calendar view. So this again is something that's new in this particular version. So MediaCentral Collaborate, it's an app for planning, for content sharing, for project tracking. It's available on mobile. It's also available in MediaCentral Cloud UX and also in Media Composer. It's also available in Adobe After Effects, Photoshop, and Premiere Pro as well. So you can really begin to plan and bring teams together for work that they want to collaborate on. So what we're looking at here is my week view. So I'm seeing this particular week. And here you can see I've specifically chosen a date. And I could go into that and I can see the assignments for this particular date. I can, of course, go into the assignments. So I can see the couple of assignments that we have here. And if I go into the specific assignment, so perhaps one of the things I want to do is add a team member. So I can choose to edit that. I can go to the team and perhaps I want to add, Regis to this. So there is Regis. I can select him. And then I can save him and I can add him as a team member. He would, of course, get a notification. So that's one of the things that we can do. But we can also go in here and we can see media that's linked to this particular assignment as well. So here again are some of our volcano shots. And if I just tap on one of the shots here, I can then review the video. So I can play this back. On my mobile phone. I'm obviously, not in the office. I'm out in location today, so I'm able to view this and I can play it back on my phone. But if I go back to the calendar view, just to show you some other things that you can also do, that if I wanted to, I could add new assignments. So I can do this all from here, add new assignments, allocate team members to this, type in information, select due dates, and things like this as well. And also in the calendar view, I can also view not just the individual day. So I'm looking at, a particular date. I can choose a date span. So here, I basically want to see everything for this week. So I'm going to start on the 26th. I'm going to end on the 30th. And let me just apply that. And now what you see in the display is I've selected all of the dates. And here are the various assignments that are spanned across this particular week. There are, of course, other filters that you can also add. You can filter by individual people, by the status, even by the department that's involved in it as well. So a lot of new functionality in the calendar view in MediaCentral Collaborate to allow you to do some more work here as well. So hopefully that's given you a flavor of some of the new things which are part of what we can do inside of MediaCentral within MediaCentral Cloud UX and also in MediaCentral Collaborate. And one other thing I'll mention as well is, I think Dalia is going to talk about this when we come to the discussion, is that this is our latest long-term maintenance release of MediaCentral. And there's actually more than 300 features and updates that have been added since the last long-term maintenance release, which was 2022.3. So you can see that just highlights the range of innovation and the range of new features and functionality that are consistently being added to MediaCentral as well. But that's enough for me just now. Dalia, I'll hand it back to you for the Q&A with Regis and myself.
Thank you, Craig. So let's look at a couple of the questions that came in. So the first question is, there are a lot of new search features in this release. Why so much focus on that aspect? And Regis, if you can take that, that'd be great.
Yeah, that's a great question. We always try to improve the user experience for users, and a lot of our users are spending a lot of time in search, and therefore adding more capabilities that lets you streamline your process in searches is important. So searching in folders, super peel, all of those things are new capabilities that are going to make it faster and easier to really use the search tool in a complex environment scenarios.
Great, thank you, Regis. Craig, perhaps this is a good question for you. So MediaCentral Collaborate on mobile has also had an update. What does this mean for teams working in the field?
Yeah, I mean, mobile workflows are so crucial now for, any of our customers. We've seen it much more, of course, the rise of remote working. So the update in MediaCentral Collaborate, as you saw in the demo and Regis mentioned earlier on, is to introduce the calendar view. So if I'm now out on location, I can look at assignments either for today, or I can look at assignments across a span of dates. And that just really makes it much easier for teams that are working in the field, not only to see what's actually happening on the actual day itself, but also for people on mobile to go and plan events, because I can go in and I can create assignments. I could create tasks and add people to those tasks as well. There's been a lot of enhancements in MediaCentral Collaborate across all of our applications in the most recent releases of MediaCentral. And this is just enhancing that whole mobile workflow, because bear in mind, on mobile, for example, someone could add some content into a container in MediaCentral Collaborate, some video content, and I could actually look at that on my mobile phone, when I'm out on location. I could view it for review and approvals, and I could, add more information to it as well. So the whole, scenario around enhancing our mobile workflows is a very big part of what we do with MediaCentral, and these enhancements in MediaCentral Collaborate are just another element of us doing that.
Thank you, Craig. Avid has introduced this cadence of stable long-term maintenance releases for MediaCentral last year. What benefits does this bring our customers? And I'm going to direct this to you, Regis.
Yes, so the long-term maintenance releases is a concept that's widely used already in the IT industry. The idea behind this is we have two basically different code base in place at all the time. We have a feature release code base where we drop features, new features and capabilities basically all year long that customer can try in their labs or on air if they really want to. But basically, we're focusing on the long-term maintenance release to offer a longer a longer period, of support for a very specific version. So with the 23.7 release being an LTM release, this release is going to be supported throughout the entire year until the next long-term maintenance releases come, where the feature releases don't have this very long support time span. They really have much shorter support windows. So the LTM is important for customers because you want to upgrade to it. You know you are on the release that's going to have full support from Avid for a longer period of time. And every new patch that we do, even on the new feature releases, is basically added back to that long-term maintenance releases, ensuring that you get the best support and the best quality in the version.
Thank you. So thank you both, Regis and Craig, for that. All right, so let's have a quick summary of what we've discussed today. What's so great about MediaCentral 2023.7? It enables teams to work faster together from anywhere with enhanced newsroom and story-centric capabilities on web, mobile, and in applications. It includes more than 300 features and updates since the 2022.3 long-term maintenance release, and it keeps your valuable media and metadata secure. If you're interested in finding out more about MediaCentral, please go to our website at www.avid.com/MediaCentral. Thank you and enjoy the rest of your day.